So for this portion of the video series on how to take beautiful pictures of your newborn baby, even though you can't hire a professional photographer to come in, I'm going to be showing you how to take sort of those more traditional photos of just baby in a basket. Now for me, what I've got here is just this IKEA white knit blanket, really any solid, and for me I prefer light. You could do a darker one if you wanted, if that was your style. Any kind of blanket that looks good. And then I've just got a basket that I, have had for forever. Like even if you have like a laundry basket or something storing books or blankets in your house, go ahead and use this. Again, like I said in one of my previous videos, if you want to come and borrow one of my baskets, I have a few for your photo shoot and then just return it at the end of the day, you are more than welcome to do that. So I've got like a grayish one and then a reddish one and then a wire one with sort of like a hemp sort of lining around it. So they're all really cute. For this photo shoot, I'll show you using a blanket because that's really easy. But you can also use fur or really anything that you think would look good in a basket with your baby. And then the other thing is, so I've got my dolly here, and I'm going to show you a few different ways to wrap baby. You can use a receiving blanket. I prefer one without any pattern on it personally, but this is actually lent to me by my sister-in-law who lent me this dolly. This is what he came in. I don't really have any plain receiving blankets around because I have my own wraps. So again, if you want to borrow a wrap, come by the house and grab it, that's totally fine. I have gray, light blue, turquoise blue, I have a green, I have purple, I have pink, I have all shades of blush, white, beige, you name it, I've got it basically, except for like yellow and like bright green. And then I have headbands and stuff too. But if we're just working with receiving blankets at home and a knit blanket, then that's great. So a couple things I want to show you, and hopefully you can see this okay, yeah. So when I'm wrapping baby, say I'm doing it, I'll show you a receiving blanket first and then I'll show you just a basket. So with the receiving blanket, this is a really big one, so I've got it folded in half, and depending on the style that you're going for, what I like to do is put baby, sorry, I'm going to be a little bit rough with this dolly because it's plastic, but don't handle your baby like this, obviously. Is I want to put baby towards the edge of one of the blankets. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, I'll see if I can bring that down a little. So baby is on the edge, this is the edge, and then I'm going to wrap that blanket over one arm. So over just one arm, and then around baby's back. So now that arm is trapped, and then I'm going to pull on that other side. I'm going to pull this side really hard. And then I want this arm to be like in there. This is like baby straitjacket is what we're doing. And then you're going to take this side, and you are going to wrap that around baby. So now baby looks perfect, just like that. And then what you want to do, so this is where this little guy is a little tricky. His legs don't bend, but your little guy is going to want to froggy up his feet. And so you do want to just gently push his legs up. That's how they're in your tummy, so it's okay. Push their legs up, and then you want to kind of wrap that bottom around. So it doesn't have to be too fancy, it doesn't have to be too tight. You just want it to be nice and solid, and then you could just tuck the rest of that receiving blanket under in the basket. And then, so that's nice and loose, and then as you go through, because baby's arm, if you can, when you cross the blanket over top of baby, kind of cross their arms under it. And so that way, if you decide you want to pull baby's hand out for a couple photos, that hand is just right there at the top. It makes it a lot easier. So, or you can leave their hands trapped away. They sleep better that way. But if your baby's really out cold, pull their hands out for a few photos. It looks better. So I'm going to show you the wrap now. It's just a tiny, tiny bit different. And I'm actually going to show you on Moana because that little guy doesn't bend his legs. So somewhere here, I have a wrap. Oh, there it is. All right, so here we go. We've got this wrap here. So again, just like with the receiving blanket, I'm gonna put baby, and you can do this, like I'm doing it on the basket so you can see it, but actually, if I've been in your house before, you know, I prefer to sit cross-legged like this. So maybe I'll show you like this. So, I've got my knees up, and then I'm just gonna put baby here. So here's the end of the blanket, right towards the edge. Then my baby's gonna come, and then I'm gonna take that arm and cross it, cross their chest, right there, and then trapping the edge of that blanket under their back. So just same as before, one arm, and then same as before, bring the other arm up and across, and then you're gonna wrap, whoops, sorry Moana. You're gonna wrap around all the way, and so these wraps are really long, and then you're gonna go just all the way around. So looks like that, baby straight jacket. Then what you're gonna do is, once it looks like this, baby's arms are good, then you're gonna fold those legs up into a natural position, and you're gonna just wrap that, bring this wrap right under and around their bum. And you're just gonna pull it under. And then it's gonna kind of come like that, and then you're gonna wanna go around their shoulders and back around. And then you're gonna do the same thing, just bring it around, across the body, make sure it's nice and loose around their neck, and across, under the bum, and around. And Moana is really tiny, so I could do that a few times, and that's just gonna make a sweet little wrapped baby. Now, if at the very end you feel like, well, I've got all this fabric, you can either just tuck it under baby when you put baby in the basket, or you can grab a ponytail and an elastic band, and you can just tie it, and that'll hold it nice and tight. And actually, I do that for almost all of my photo shoots. That's how I keep my swaddles so tight, is I actually just tie an elastic band around it, and then baby is in there, and I don't have to worry about it coming out. And then I just kind of tuck this tail in underneath. So that's how you do it with a wrap. If you want to start doing the wrap with hands out, then what you could do is, so say you've got the wrap, you're just gonna hold baby's hands out in a cute position. They have to be dead asleep for this to work. If they're awake at all, don't try this. Just wrap their arms in. But if you want to do it with baby's arms out to begin with, that's fine. So you're just gonna, again, hold the wrap behind their back, and to tighten it there, hold their hands there, and then you're just gonna wrap it around their hands with their hands out, and then you're going to bring their feet. So it's exactly the same, except instead of trapping their hands, you're just gonna wrap them with their hands out and trap their hands out. So here we go, and then I come around Moana, and then I just do what I did before, all the way around her, over and over and over again, and that'll result in a sweet little wrap with, ideally, your baby's head would be right here, and their hands would be out like that, okay? So for the sake of time, I'm just gonna leave my Moana with my wrap here, and I'm gonna go. So when I do my wraps, you can do it either solid on the front, or I like to have a line. See this line across? I really like to have that line. I think it just adds interest. So I'm gonna have her hands are up by her face, baby's by her face. So if you're sitting there and you're wrapping baby, maybe keep baby in your lap like this, and then we're gonna grab a basket. So we've got the basket here, and now I've got a source of light right there. I don't want too much light. I want like a hardwood floor though. I don't want carpet or tile or anything like that. Most homes have either like hardwood or vinyl plank or something like that. If you just have carpet and you don't want the carpet in the photo, you can put a big blanket or like a white sheet or something, gray sheet, down underneath the basket for that sort of just plain background. So I've got my blanket here, I've got my Moana. I'm gonna give her a headband because that's what you do with little girls. So Moana is wearing a headband, and we're gonna tuck her like that. So she's in the basket, and there's two different shots that we can do in the basket. So one, and I'm actually going to post some pictures of the baby doll dressed up like this too, so you can kind of see how it looks. So with the basket, I'm going to put baby right in the middle. I'm going to make sure that my blanket is even on all sides, but that baby is sunken into the basket. So baby shouldn't be right on top, going to fall out, but baby shouldn't be in the very bottom of the basket either. So she's just kind of nestled right in there, and then I've got blanket on either side. And then I'm going to grab my phone and making sure that the light source is over there to the side is my preference, because I like sort of the shadows on half of them, but it should still be not too shadow. So you want to make sure that like just the edge of their nose is in shadow, not like half their face, if that makes sense. And you'll see from my pictures that that's what I've got here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few shots, so they're just in the middle facing up at me. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a few shots like this. So I've got my Moana, she looks beautiful. I'm going to do around like a wider shot of the whole around the basket, and then I'm going to go in and do some close-ups like that. And then I might want to play with my angle and go above the eyelashes, kind of get down at the nose, and then play with the angle this way. Watch your background though, because if you go down like this, you're going to see what's in the background. Maybe pull the basket back a little and then go really close and go up their nose and get those hands if you want. Then what you're going to do with your basket shoot is you're going to turn them on their side. And so towards the window, go slow, go gentle, make sure they stay asleep. You might have to move that blanket a bit up behind them, and you might actually have to support their head a little with an extra blanket or a diaper or something underneath. So I always have lots of blankets around me, but maybe make sure you have some receiving blankets around you just in case they spit up too, because sometimes with all the jostling they do that. So now my baby is kind of scooted towards the edge of the basket here. So she's no longer even. As you can see here, she's more towards one side, and she's facing out towards the window here. So then what I want to do is I want to make sure that there's open space behind them. So I don't want to get this wall in there. I want to get floors. So I might just move her a bit this way. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to try to make sure that there's no light on the floor behind her either. If there is, just go ahead and play with the angle. So for me, where I am right now, sorry, you can hear my puppy. I'm just going to come in here and do that. So nice and just straight on and even. I might go up, play with my angle, and come up down towards their nose this way. And I'll show you these photos in the video. And maybe I want to go up their nose a little. But then again, just paying attention to my background. So really close up. And then if you've got the background, if there's no wall or anything, you can go ahead and get sort of a wider shot. So I'm going to come back here. And I've got all of this right here is wide open floor. So for me, I'm going to just come. I do have a little bit of light on the floor from, here I might. So I can see that I've got light on the floor. So then I'm going to go and do what I can to get rid of that light on the floor. So I close the curtain there so that when I take this picture, there's not as much light on the floor. And then I'm just going to kind of go in and get that shot of them on the side. And then again here, you can play with it. Move the basket however you need to. And even though this is with a phone, I'm not even using, like I'm not portrait or anything, these photos are beautiful. So you really don't need to do anything fancy, you just need to put the effort in. So there's my basket photos, and then for the next video, I'm gonna show you, get comfy. For the next video, I'm gonna show you how to take photos of your little one with your children if you've got big kids at home. So if you don't, then you can just skip that one and just watch the one about posing with mom and posing with dad. But for the next one, I'm going to show you siblings, and then I'll show you one with family. Enjoy!